The S25 Ultra arrives with a 5000 mAh battery, which is a capacity that Samsung has preserved for numerous generations. Unsurprisingly, the lack of development in this area has been the object of significant criticism by the general people, who pay a substantial money to acquire these flagships, and those who evaluate such units. Fortunately, a fresh rumor indicates that the firm is testing future versions that arrive without the S Pen to see whether it can expand the battery size. For those who still find several use cases for the item, a source believes that the Galaxy S26 Ultra will arrive with it. While the bulk of us may agree that seeing the same battery on the S25 Ultra has gotten tedious, Samsung's hands are pretty much bound due to the lack of space on the flagship. To overcome this issue, Panda Flash Bro notes on X that the Korean company is undertaking testing to see whether it can expand the capacity on models without holstering the S Pen. The facts are scant at this moment, but it is feasible that the corporation has begun the early testing phase, and it might extend its prototypes at a later point. Samsung may mimic the technique Apple used with its iPad Pro, where one side of the tablet can retain the Apple Pencil using powerful magnets. Since the Galaxy S Ultra series also has flat edges, implementing the same functionality should not be an issue. While the S26 Ultra is supposedly launching with the S Pen, Samsung is still studying ways to boost the battery capacity by lowering the number of cameras at the rear. Thankfully, with the next flagship expected to incorporate variable aperture technology, the necessity of extra sensors might become obsolete. Another area that both Samsung and Apple are researching to expand the battery capacity is transitioning to silicon-carbon technology, and there was a rumor traveling the rounds suggesting that this move might give the Galaxy S26 Ultra the possibility to contain a mammoth-sized 7000 mAh cell. By transitioning to silicon-carbon batteries, Samsung will not have to abolish the S Pen in future generations, and it will continue supplying its high-end smartphones with higher capacity. We will continue to track the company's development and see what choice it comes to, so stay tuned. Although Samsung has only just launched its newest flagship phones for 2025, speculations are already surfacing about their successors. January's Galaxy Unpacked event featured the newest S25 series, and it's undoubtedly one that all eyes will be on for some time. For others, however, it's not as exhilarating as they'd imagined. If that's you, your focus could have already gone to next year's Galaxy S26 series. Here's all we know at this moment, including release date, pricing, and specifications. If Samsung keeps to its regular release schedule, we should anticipate the Galaxy S26 series to appear sometime in early 2026, presumably in January or February. This coincides with the release windows of previous S-series flagships. Rumors imply a future adjustment in name practices. However, Samsung may discontinue selling the normal Galaxy S model after the S25 series, leaving just the Galaxy S26 Plus and Galaxy S26 Ultra in 2026. According to Yogesh Brar, the S26 Ultra could be relaunched as the S26 Note, stressing its S Pen integration. Similarly, the S26 Plus might be renamed the S26 Pro, corresponding with the rising trend of Pro models found across numerous phone companies. I'm not sure how the naming would work here, since an S26 Plus or S26 Pro would make no sense if there's no S26. If Samsung does kill off the S26, I anticipate the more powerful S26 Plus model will remove its Plus, rather than transition to the S26. However, I simply can't see this truly playing out. Given the new S25 Edge isn't scheduled until April, its replacement may come around the same time in 2026. Though specific information are yet to be published, this looks to be the slim variant that was extensively speculated before the Galaxy S25 unveiling. If Samsung does kill out the normal S26, maybe a second-gen Edge device might take its place to retain three alternatives in the main range. Pricing for the Galaxy S26 series remains solely hypothetical at this moment. However, pricing will undoubtedly face a little hike from the S25 series. This is a frequent trend in the phone industry, driven by reasons such as growing component prices, continued inflation, and the incorporation of more complex technology. Despite being so far away from its scheduled arrival, many of Galaxy S26 series speculations have already appeared. Beyond prospective name modifications, there is presently no definite information about particular design components such as materials, glass, metal, or a mix? Color selections or overall aesthetic choices? It remains to be seen if a titanium construction would stay limited to the Ultra, or whether a possible edge model may adopt it too. Given that Samsung has updated the design somewhat on the Galaxy S25 series, from the Galaxy S24 series, its successor is expected to have the same appearance. That said, I hope we see a return to the Galaxy S24's S Pen rather than the less remarkable version that arrived with the Galaxy S25. According to the elec, a noteworthy advance might be the inclusion of color filter on thin film encapsulation technology into the S26 Ultra's display. This technology has the potential to make the display smaller, brighter, and more energy efficient. However, specifications like display size, resolution, refresh rate, and the incorporation of sophisticated capabilities such as under-display cameras or fingerprint sensors remain unclear at this moment. According to trusted leaker ex-leaker Jukanos Reeve, Samsung would definitely revert to favoring the usage of its own Exynos CPUs with the S26 series. Korean site Abel also states that Samsung is devoting a lot of money into timely mass production of the Exynos 2600, probably in time for the Galaxy S26 series. The highly regarded Financial News agrees, stating that Samsung is devoting so much efforts into ensuring the Exynos 2600 is ready for the Galaxy S26, that there's a whole task force devoted to it. However, it's unclear whether this would include North America, which has solely utilized Snapdragon chipsets in previous years, even while Exynos powered non-Ultra devices in Europe. Leaker Jukanos Reeve agrees, stating that the chip volume is so limited that it'll likely be similar to the Exynos 990 situation. For those who don't recall, the Exynos 990 processor was rarely accessible when the Galaxy S20 released, but this turned out to be a gift in disguise, since the CPU was weak compared to its Snapdragon equivalent. So it's also probable that the Galaxy S26 series will be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 in some manner. Information on individual CPUs, RAM configurations, and storage choices is presently unavailable. According to Chinese leaker Digital Chat Station, the S26 Ultra may contain a cutting-edge 200 megapixels periscope telephoto camera, up from 50 megapixels on the S25 Ultra. Reputable tipster PandaFlash agrees, but adds there will only be one 200 megapixels sensor rather than two. This would connect Samsung with a rising trend among Chinese phone makers who are increasingly adding high-resolution periscope lenses into their flagship products. It'd be fantastic to see the S26 Ultra receive such a big telephoto boost. Well-known Twitter tipster Ice Universe has stated that the S26's main camera might come with a customizable aperture. This would adjust to varied lighting situations, boosting both brilliant daytime images and low-light performance. There are various ways that Samsung might incorporate this functionality. The tech giant might go for a dual aperture option a la the Galaxy S9 from back in 2019. Or more likely, Samsung might follow Xiaomi's example with the 14 Ultra and allow you choose from numerous aperture settings. However, the front-facing camera may not be that spectacular. According to leaker Crow on X, the S26 Ultra will sport an under-display camera on the front, removing the punch-hole selfie camera we see on the S25 Ultra. The problem? Every under-display selfie lens presently on the market gives subpar picture quality at best, including Samsung's own Z Fold 6. We'd have to see a substantial update to make it good enough for individuals who prefer high-quality selfies. However, leaker PandaFlash says it's impossible that Samsung would incorporate an under-display selfie camera on its Ultra phone within the next 2 to 3 years. Details on the camera systems for the remainder of the S26 series, including sensor sizes, video recording capabilities, and particular camera features like as enhanced AI photography modes, remain under wraps. Citing Weibo tipster Ice Universe, Jukanos Reeve indicated on X that silicon carbon battery technology is a likely candidate for the S26 series. The Financial News in Korea proposes the same, saying it might enhance battery capacity up to the 6,000 to 7,000 milliamps level. This technique also offers the possibility of increased energy density, perhaps leading to improved battery life and quicker charging rates. However, leaker PandaFlash believes the S26 Ultra's battery won't be greater than 5500 mAh, even indicating they'll delete their X account if it's 6000 mAh or more. As a reminder, even the top-end Galaxy S25 Ultra is restricted to a 5000 mAh battery with 45-watt cable charging and 15-watt wireless. The S26 series is likely to arrive with Android 16 as its operating system. Samsung will presumably overlay it with its unique user interface, which is believed to be called as One UI 8. Specific software improvements, user interface upgrades, and the degree of security fixes are yet to be released, but you can anticipate even more new Galaxy AI functions. Samsung is also anticipated to continue with its class-leading pledge of 7 years of both OS and security upgrades for all the Galaxy S26 phones. That's all we presently know about the Galaxy S26 series. We'll update this post when we discover anything new. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more tech news. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.